Hey there, welcome to Getting to Know. It's a show where you get to know more about people I think are interesting, and maybe you will too. If you want to keep up and see me stream live, you can follow my Twitch right here, or you can tell me to go fuck myself. Thank you. So let me tell you the lore. Hold on. Let me before I pull Nymn in here. Let me. Shit. Let me tell you the lore. Okay. So. No, he didn't finish my game. Oh, I'm sorry, Yabe. So, I met Nymn at TwitchCon Berlin. Okay? And I'll tell you something. So my good friend Austin, no, I'm gonna fucking say it. No, fuck off, Sir Derps a lot. You're not getting your points back either. I went to TwitchCon Berlin with my friend Austin, as you all know as Raj, okay? And I went out to, I'm pretty sure the first time I met him was at a dinner. And we were sitting around at the dinner. It was me, him, this guy named Vader. Or no, it was me, Vader, Lord Kirk, and someone else. And then Nymn shows up with someone, and he introduces himself. He says, "Hey, I'm Nymn. Nice to meet you." And I say, "Hey, I'm Joe. Pleasure to meet you." We shake each other's hands, okay? Well-dressed man. Fucking through the gills, right? And then I got on my knees and I sucked it. No, that's not what happened. And then so he walks in, and there's at a table. And the table has Pokimane, Austin, Hassan, and this chick named Mira, okay? So at the event, they gave away umbrellas. V with the raid, too. Oh, V, what's up, girl? How are you? Thanks for the raid, V. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Everyone say hi to Invader V. She's a good friend of mine. We're interviewing Nymn. Actually, V, I'm telling some lore about TwitchCon Berlin, about when I first met Nymn. So I see Nymn. He walks into the room, right? And into the restaurant. And the mirror girl, okay, offers my seat to Nymn. She says, "Hey, she's like, here, take a seat." Then she takes these umbrellas, these free umbrellas, and puts them on the back of my seat. And then I look at her, I'm like, who the fuck does this person think they are? Granted, I didn't know anything about Twitch, okay? This is my first time ever being in a Twitch event, okay? So I was a little triggered. I don't know shit about Twitch, okay? So I take the umbrellas, I walk to her seat, and I put the umbrellas on the back of her seat, and Nymn doesn't take my seat because he's a fucking gentleman. That's my first experience with Nymn, okay? That's why I have a lot of respect for him. I didn't know him. I didn't know her. But I respected him way fucking more, okay? All right? So, and that's that. All right. Anyways, Nymn was probably scared. No, man. Are you kidding me? He's got balls of steel, baby. Come on. All right, let me give him a call. Hello?
No,
Nymn?
I just listened to your stream. Yeah, hello?
Oh, it's fixed. Okay. Okay.
Oh, was I actually muted?
Yeah, you actually were muted. Yeah, there's like this weird thing. So I'm back in New York for a bit, and I live in Austin. I don't know if you knew that, but I went back to New York, and I have like a whole different setup, and it's all fucked up. Like every time I switch a scene or something, like the audio just dies and shit. So I don't know what to do about it. Yeah.
Oh, that blows.
How are you, man?
I never believe them anymore when they say I'm muted.
How do you know what to believe and what not to believe, though?
You learn to see when someone's serious and not. I don't know exactly. Like if you ask a question, to the chat, and there's a bunch of people replying in all caps. There's one guy giving you advice, puts a cap at the end of it.
Okay.
And then there's this one guy who writes all in lowercase letters, a longer, then you're like, okay, this guy's probably telling the truth. You can kind of, I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
Can't pinpoint it, but you can usually kind of tell.
I'm sorry,
Just
by the
being
way,
truthful.
Nim, that you can't see me. I apologize for that. It must be a little
that's
weird
okay.
to just be talking.
No, I'll have your stream up, so I'll see you,
okay.
but delayed.
How's your day going, man?
It's good. I played a couple of games, and then I watched some The Boys with The Boys.
What is The
So that
Boys?
was fun. TV show on Amazon. You haven't seen it?
No. What's it about?
Well, the problem is if you pitch it immediately, you just say, "Oh, it's a superhero show," and then immediately everyone rolls their eyes. But it's not. It's very, very different because it takes a completely different take on that subject, and it makes them. Basically, the superheroes are the bad guys. That's about as far as I want to say without spoiling too much.
Oh, okay.
Or they're generally. It's just a lot nastier and probably a bit more realistic. What would happen if people were superheroes among us? They get very corporate and they get merchandised the hell out of it and stuff like that.
That sounds like what goes on with all the terrible superhero movies that come out now.
Yeah, it's a very meta kind of show.
Yeah. So is that a watch party thing?
Yeah, they just launched it in on the global, so that I can do it because I'm EU based.
Yeah.
So I haven't tried it out before, so I've been checking out watch parties for a bit.
Cool.
We're watching all of it.
How do you feel about it so far?
It's been very buggy.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of issues. And the worst thing, I think the absolute worst feature, which I can't believe they shipped it with that, is if the streamer disconnects during a movie. Say you're watching Lord of the Rings or a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
If you disconnect halfway through the movie and the stream just goes down, you start the watch party again, well, you're going to have to rewatch that 1.5 hour.
Are you fucking kidding me? You can't skip through the movie?
You can't skip ahead. It's absolutely ridiculous.
What's up?
We know this because we were going to watch Wolf of Wall Street, and 40 minutes in, I disconnect.
What's up with your cat, man?
His name's Apollo. Oh he's actually probably a bit extra hyper right now because normally I stream for 6 hours, and he knows that. He sleeps for 6 hours, and then he's ready to play.
Oh.
But I streamed for 8 today.
Damn.
And then now I'm doing this. Normally I'd walk away from my PC when I'm done. So he's a bit of an attention whore.
Yeah, he is. He's cute.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Nymn, can you introduce yourself, if you would?
Sure. Yeah, I go by Nymn. I don't really my name's not secret, but I usually just call myself Nymn.
Nymn
and
works,
I stream. I've streamed since 2014, 2015, late 2014. I've watched streams since 2010. I started off making music, Twitch meta type of music, and then I transitioned into more like streaming. And then from just making music on stream, I started doing variety instead, both games and a lot of, as people call, React Andy kind of stuff.
So now you get to sit around all day and watch funny videos.
Dream come true.
Did you? But from what I know, this isn't what you were doing. Like, this wasn't your full-time gig, right? You did something else before this?
When I was back in 2015 when I started, I was still working. I had a full-time job. I worked with visual effects.
Visual effects?
Visual effects.
So do you do all of your own stuff?
All my stream and stuff? My graphics?
Yeah.
No, not really, no. And I wouldn't really be able to use that stuff to do anything on my stream because it's a different thing. The thing, like, it would be useful if you worked a lot with motion graphics or you did like hobby stuff in After Effects, then you could probably carry that over to your stream. But
yeah,
the things I did was a lot more industrial. It was a lot more part of a big machinery.
Okay.
And very, very specific niche work that doesn't really translate into this.
Have you ever spoken about that on stream before? About the stuff that you worked on?
Sure. Yeah.
What kind of things have you worked on that were bigger picture?
The biggest one I worked on was Star Wars Rogue One.
You fucking worked on Star Wars, dude?
Yeah, I did. That was cool.
What? Was there like a
Star Wars
scene?
Rogue One.
Is there like a scene or something from that?
Yeah. I had one scene that I specifically I worked on. I helped out on some of the other stuff, but there's one. Well, it's not a scene. It's a shot.
Yeah.
An establishing shot of the Rebel base that I worked on for like 5 months or something.
So that was it exhausting, that job, or did you enjoy it?
No, I loved working with visual. I loved working with. He's about to fall.
Oh shit! Your cat's fucking up the world, dude.
Yeah. There's something about like when there's something going on under like a blanket or whatever.
Yeah.
That makes it so much more interesting. I loved working with visual effects. I really did. It could be stressful at times.
Yeah.
The deadlines were often way too short, and they expected too much work. So there was a lot of overtime involved. There was a lot of anxiousness especially in the start when you hadn't proven yourself yet, doubting yourself, not knowing you're good enough. You could get tasks that you had absolutely no idea how to solve it.
Yep.
But it was a very satisfying once you're done and you're sitting there in like the cinema or whatever, seeing the movie. So I enjoyed the work a lot. What I didn't enjoy, which really made me a lot happier about being a streamer than working with that stuff, was I like being my own boss, and I like setting my own time and my own, Yeah, I didn't like working for someone.
I get what you mean. But have you always been like that?
I think so.
Or did that
because
happen?
I had other gigs. I worked as a translator for a brief moment when I was studying, and that was also a really nice job, just because I could set my own hours. I think I've always really appreciated that.
In English translator?
I would translate. So it started with me trying to find like an online gig when I was like 19.
Yeah.
And I went to this website called freelancer.com, I think, to find. Because I knew a bit of web design, I knew a bit of graphics design and stuff like that. And it turns out the competition is fierce with these. You'd have like people from like India, Pakistan, and they would do the same work way faster and way cheaper than you. I was like, this is impossible. I can't compete with this. And I was like, well, what can I do that they can't?
Yeah.
Oh, I can speak Swedish. Maybe,
maybe
I can translate.
That's a niche, yeah.
So that's how I got into that.
And so what was it like? So where do you live? You live in Sweden? Is it Sweden?
Sweden.
You live in Sweden, right? And you've obviously traveled quite a bit. Like would you say you've been around the majority of the world, or a good part of it?
No, I wouldn't say that actually. I have traveled, but I wouldn't say I've been around. The places I've gone to have often been the same places. I've been to a decent amount of places in Europe. Not even a lot, but a decent amount. And I've been to the US obviously a few times, but I've never been to Asia at all. I've never been to like Australia, anything around there. I've never been to South America or Central America, and I've only been to Africa one time.
Oh, okay, cool. And what's it like living in Sweden? I think I only know a few people who live in Sweden. Candyland.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's about it. And you, and Yabe. There's
another Swedish. Well, she lives in Norway, but she comes here. There's another Swedish streamer you're forgetting. There's a bunch of them.
Melina. Yeah. I didn't know. Why did I think that Melina lived in Norway for some reason? Canute lives in Norway.
You're mixing her up with NMP's girlfriend. Her name.
The other Melina. Is her name Melina or Melina?
There's one Melina. She's Norwegian and dates NMP, and then there's a Melina who's Swedish and dates Destiny.
Okay. Yes.
The person I was looking for was actually Forsen.
Oh, Forsen. Yo, I just found out about Forsen like 2 months ago.
No way, really?
Nym, I'm like still new to this whole Twitch thing. Like,
yeah, but
what?
It seems hard to be on this website and not notice like all the fucking Forsen spam in your chat or something. I don't know.
Every time someone put Forsen CD in my chat, I was like, I don't know what the fuck this means. I'm not a normie. I'm not a. Okay, so I was a normie, all right, but I literally just like, because I interviewed Van Darkholm or Van Sama.
Nice.
And I got to learn about like all that shit, right? Because there's like all the gachi. I didn't know much about gachi and all that stuff, and I learned more about gachi. And then I learned about Forsen. And then I learned about like how Forsen's community literally creates his content for him, and it's fucking brilliant. And his streams, like, and I was like, this guy.
Sweet gig.
So but you knew him, right? Like, did you know him from before?
No, I got to know him through Twitch.
Through Twitch, okay. Because like it seems like your community and his community are a lot like of the same style ish. Does that make sense?
We share a very, very big overlap, because my you could say my community grew as a tumor on top of his.
Oh.
Well, I don't know what you want to describe.
That's kind of.
But I mean, I built a lot of my platform. I mean, I started off basically using him and his stuff.
That makes me seem like you make it sound like you're a cancer to Forsen.
I'm just joking, but
yeah.
You know, well, some people probably see it that way.
But were you friends with him, or what happened? I don't know anything about. I
don't know. There's not a big story behind it, really. I mean, he knows me and I know him. Obviously, we've met a few times in real life, and I mean, I still watch his stuff. I think he used to watch my stream. I don't think he does really anymore. I made the music and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I used a lot of his samples and a lot of things. Now that I don't do that, we probably drifted apart a bit. And then Forsen is not really known as the kind of streamer that collabs a lot or interacts a lot with other streamers.
Yeah, yep.
Myself included. So we don't really have much contact. Not necessarily that there's anything specific between us. It's just that's kind of the way he does it.
Would you want to like collaborate with Forsen?
Yeah, for sure. That'd be fun.
Well, why don't you guys hang out, make it work? Well, I don't understand. I mean,
forehead.
Well, no. Okay. Can I just explain my perspective a little bit here? Okay.
Okay.
I don't get this whole like. It's been happening more in like the Among Us bullshit. Like you've been playing we played a few games with Among Us too, but there's been like this like hardcore like clout chasing bullshit game thing that's been brought up several times, and like people are like, oh, the people want to play with big streamers, so they're all streaming and blah 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 blah, and it's like, what? Like, I get that like Twitch is very like endemic to all that shit, and they're like very protective of their audience because they don't want anyone to like take their shit or whatever. But like, if you're fucking entertaining and people want to like hang out with you, like they're gonna come to your stream and watch you. Like that's just how it is. Like it doesn't matter about like if you fucking stream with XQC or something like that. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter. People aren't gonna watch you just because you're fucking playing with them. They might jump in your stream and see whether or not you're the imposter, but they're not gonna fucking watch you every day when you're watching The Boys on fucking Amazon.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree. That's how it goes every time. When people get accused of leeching or whatever, even if you do leech, if you don't actually have a good stream for people, then
nobody's gonna
get anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So you should hang out with Forsen. If you have a good stream,
then well, maybe you deserve it.
And you should hang out with Forsen.
I'm pushing for it. He doesn't. But you don't have to convince me. I don't think you understand. He just doesn't. He doesn't really do collabs.
Okay. All right.
He's a very unique. We need to move the topic soon because I don't want to sit here like sound like some bitter girlfriend or something.
You sound like one.
Yeah. He just doesn't. He runs a very special kind of. It's more. I think of him more like this. Billionaire sitting on his yacht playing Fortnite, and no, that was a terrible comparison. No, he does exactly what he wants and what he feels like, and he's done this for long enough where he's established enough and made enough money to where he doesn't really have to.
He doesn't have to fuck with anyone. Yeah,
he doesn't have to give a shit.
Okay.
Now, sometimes I have asked him to play a certain game, and he has said that he's been interested in it, but then it ended up falling apart for whatever reason.
Oh, you do sound kind of sad about it. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know it was like that.
I'm not sad about it, but
you sure?
No, it's fun.
All right. So
I'm not a huge collabor either, but of
you're
course,
not.
Yeah, but of course I'd play something with him.
Is it like
a good opportunity?
Is it just like you just don't, because you're obviously very sociable. Like I was telling how I met you, and like the Mira and the dinner story. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember it as like clear as day because this is my first introduction to like Twitch people and like Twitch whatever the fuck politics you want to call it.
Yeah.
And because Austin was like, hey, he like took me to like all these things. Like I think we went to all the same fucking parties, and like I didn't know. I was working for a company at the time.
Yeah.
And he introduced me to everyone. So I didn't know anyone. I didn't even know. You know what? I had a 30-minute conversation with Pokimane, and I didn't even know who she was.
Oh, she probably liked that.
She did. Yeah, we had a great conversation. So like, that's what I'm getting at. Is like, I did that. And that whole situation at the dinner, and I remembered how nice you were, and I was like, "This guy's fucking cool." And I think I tried to stay in touch like ever since then, at least for the most part, a little bit, as much as we can. But yeah, so you don't like doing collaborations is because because you're obviously social. You're like a pretty social dude. But is it because like you would rather like do your own thing and like dictate your own content and not like have to try to work with someone?
A lot of my stream has very heavy emphasis on interaction between me and my chat.
Yeah.
And I think very often if you introduce another person, it gets very hard to keep that going. It might work with one other person, but and that depends on who they are as well.
Yeah.
If they're another streamer and they're, it depends a lot, but it tends to be hard to provide the same type of content that I normally do if I introduce another person. At least if I have to be like respectful and have in like regard what they say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, otherwise, because I tend to run them over. Otherwise, is the problem. I'm not gonna So if I'm collabing with someone, I'm probably not gonna give you equal space.
Yeah.
And so it depends a lot on who am I collabing with, whether or not that's okay for them.
What kind of music did you make? You made like Twitch related like Kappa music or something like that? Like
yeah, I made I've been jeez, I can't talk. I've been doing a bunch of stuff throughout the years, but the probably the biggest one is called Radio Kappa. Yeah, you heard it?
I have heard of that actually. Yeah, yeah. And are you still doing Radio Kappa, or did you kind of stop?
No, not really. I quit. And then I made a small comeback. I made like the official ending, and then I actually made one extra, like a little comeback one.
Yeah.
And then some more time passed, and I did one that it wasn't quite another one, but it was like a little small tribute to it. I named it Radio Cap instead.
Oh, cool. That's cute.
Yeah.
And what happened? And that was that?
And I make other stuff. I've made other types of music in the same vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've also made music that's just not even kind of Twitch cancer music. It could be, I run a very swaggy SoundCloud for my ironical hip hop beat producer.
What's the song? Lil Soy?
It's soundcloud.com/lilsoy158. So LILSOY 158.
Lil Soy 158. Do you mind if I play one of your songs, or?
I go for it.
King shit.
Oh, this a hit, nigga. With no words on it.
Lil Soy on the beat.
I got on 2 chains. No, I ain't titty boy. I'm train chasing, but I ain't from Philly boy. The bitch bad, and she say I can get.
Yo, this is awesome, dude. What the fuck?
Thanks.
Yeah. Wait, was that Andy opening for you? Was that Andy's voice?
No, that's my voice pitched to sound a bit more soy, basically.
Hold on. Hold on one second.
Oh, this a hit, nigga. With no words on it.
Lil Soy on the beat.
That fucking sounds like Andy. It sounds like Andy. That's totally Andy, isn't it?
There's no Andy.
Are you
talking about Andy Milonakis?
Yeah.
No, there's no Andy Milonakis in the whole track.
Oh my god.
That's my voice.
Dude, you need more I'm gonna follow you.
Thank you.
Guys, go follow Lil Soy 158. This is awesome. So you do this in your spare time when you just want to fuck around.
Yeah, most of those are made with me just messing about, and then I make a beat for fun, and then whatever BPM it is, I go on I Google like acapella and the BPM, and then whatever I come across, I just kind of.
So who is Yo Gotti? Is that you?
That's the guy who made the acapella.
Oh, so you're building a beat around the acapella.
No.
Oh.
I make a song, and then whatever BPM it is, I just go on Google and I search for that acapella with that BPM.
And then you just drop it on top?
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you... Dude, that is so fucking soy. That's so soy. No, you should be working with people, like collabing with people, making the beats for them, and then letting them fucking sing over your shit.
I did do that as well. I made one beat. It's on there somewhere. That's there's no voice on it. And then we had like a competition on my Reddit, and all my viewers got to like rap to it.
Is that soy vibes?
Can't remember. Maybe. Yeah,
Hold on,
probably.
let me see.
It's a bit of a slower beat to make it easier to go. To drop bars.
Dude, you're. It's like you grew up in like a Brooklyn trap house or something. That's the kind of like sound you got.
It was fun. I've never done anything like it until recently. It was fun genre to explore. I try to mess around a lot.
Yeah.
With various stuff.
Are you born and raised in Sweden?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So, what are some like major differences between like, so you've obviously been to America. Like, what are some like major differences between like your experiences in America versus your experiences in Sweden?
The infrastructure is fairly different. Sweden is a lot more about commuting. You get on trains a lot more in Sweden. You get on buses a lot more, and you ride your bike a lot more. You guys are all about cars. You take your car everywhere.
We have cars, yeah.
At least, yeah. And usually everything's bigger in America. The portion sizes, the grocery stores, and the people. It blew me away when I went to the cinema one time. Like I always thought it was a joke, but the sizes of like the size small soda is literally like large in Sweden. It was nuts how big I've never seen such a big popcorn bowl and such a big soda.
Oh, well, you know why they do that, right?
Why?
Well, do you want me to tell you the secret to the American like economy?
Sure, go.
Okay. So we have things in big portions so we can get people really fat, so they have to pay for healthcare, which the government takes a cut of, and healthcare is very expensive. So then when they go in the hospital, it pays for public healthcare, and then the fat people die, and then they use their fat to fund the oil war in the Middle East.
Wow, it all makes sense now.
Yeah. Welcome to America. What else did you notice?
One very actually interesting difference that I definitely thought about compared to specifically to my country is you guys talk a lot more to strangers.
Yeah. What's up with like Swedish people and Norwegian people just not interacting with people? Like, well, you guys are antisocial or something.
We just don't really care about other people's shit, and we don't think we also don't think we're so there's this idea that you're not supposed to think you're above anyone else.
Yeah, I know. I've heard of that before from Candyland, actually.
Okay, yeah. And we mind our own stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't want to annoy other people, I think. And I think most people don't really. If I step into an elevator with you and you drop some random comment to me about the weather or I know that you're only. I'm assuming we're like if we're strangers. Yeah. I'm gonna know that you're only saying that because it's the polite thing to do. Not you don't actually give a shit about me. You know.
Yeah.
It's this kind of idea we came up with that we have to fill the void of silence. I think we just don't. I guess we don't care about that.
So
we just see past that.
If you're in an elevator and say it's a 200-story building, and you're in an elevator for probably 3 minutes with someone. You just awkwardly sit there with no cell phone service and don't say a thing to each other?
I think that's very common to happen in Sweden, yeah. And I know that's a big difference because I specifically I remember going into elevators in America and realizing every time I was anyone there, they always struck up a conversation with me. I was like, yo, chill, I'm just trying to get to 3rd floor.
But maybe they just want to be like, hey, I like your hair. Like, hey, hope you have a nice day. Is that bad?
No, it's not. It's not bad.
But does that? If someone asks you how you are, does that make you feel like they're better than you?
No, it doesn't really fall into that. It doesn't fall into that stuff. So I guess that's a different thing. I just felt like it was worth mentioning.
So, but if you,
I think my experience going in the elevator isn't really altered whether or not the other person asked how I was.
Yeah,
I wouldn't really remember it at the end of the day, and I wouldn't. But I'm sure it's nice. I mean, it doesn't hurt, I suppose.
Too.
It could hurt. If your day was absolutely shit, and they ask you how your day was, maybe that would like bring back bad memories. I don't know.
But you know what? People
we smile and nod. That's what we do. That sends the same vibes.
But I feel like that's like condescending almost.
Just
Because
smile
like
and nod.
if okay, so here I'll give you an example. All right, my name's Don. I'm Disco Donnie, okay, and I'm at the supermarket. And you're Gwendolyn Karen, okay? That's your full name. All right.
I'm
I'll
a
give you an
Karen?
example. You're a Karen, okay?
Okay.
And I'm Disco Donnie, okay?
Okay.
So I'm walking through the supermarket, and you're looking at me, and look at me and nod. I'm gonna say, "Hey, what's going on, Gwendolyn Karen? How are you?" And then you're gonna do the thing that you do in Sweden. That's fucking rude. That's fucking rude. Like, you're telling me like that's okay? That's fucking rude. Like, I'm Disco Donnie, girl. Like, and you're Gwendolyn Karen. You better fucking act up. You know what happens in America? Disco
What?
Donnie walks up and he's like, "Hey, what's up, Karen? How you doing, baby?" And then she's like, "Oh, you better back the fuck off, man." Like, that's what happens. That's
I got
the
a
jam.
taser.
I got a
Pepper
taser,
spray.
motherfucker. You better watch out.
What if Karen was busy, you know? What if her dog is dying and she needs to get him food?
Maybe she'll talk about it.
Um,
Do you guys have therapists in Sweden?
Probably, yeah. Well, yeah. No, we do. I haven't been to one, but yeah, sure.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Wait, what is your ethnicity?
I'm half Swedish, half Tunisian.
Tunisian.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exotic.
Yeah.
I thought I
Northern
was
Africa.
exotic. Yeah. Wait, so
What
go ahead.
were your roots?
I'm Jordanian and Irish.
Oh, I see. That is
Yeah.
a pretty unique mix as well.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
so what is the native language in Tunisia? Tunisian?
They speak Arabic,
Arabic?
but I don't, sadly.
Oh, you don't speak any Arabic?
No, not really. Didn't learn that growing up.
I didn't really learn Arabic either, honestly. My dad was like this like super white dude from like New York City, and the only thing he knew about was like drinking Guinness because he's Irish and like Celtic music. So like my mom didn't teach me anything, unfortunately, but so you've been on Twitch for quite a while. And see, when did you make the decision to like stop working at your full-time job and then jump into Twitch full-time?
That was it was during springtime of 2018. Yeah, I quit. Well, I've thought about it for a long time, but I officially made the decision, I think, in like April or something. And by, I think May 1st, May was my last month. And then June 1st, 2018 was first day officially full-time.
Who is this Caterino guy in the chat? What is going on? Do you see that?
Yeah, there's a guy called Procast5, and the only thing he does is ask the streamer if they can check out Caterino, or like, are you gonna talk about Caterino today, or are you gonna watch any Caterino compilations today?
What the fuck is what?
He
Is
just
that-
really likes Caterino.
I like Cater. You like Caterino?
Sure, I have very limited experience with her, but sure.
Yeah. She's always been nice to me. Why am I waking up feeling pog? I gotta close chat. I can't read this shit. I'm like I'm fucking losing brain cells right now. Okay.
Well, did you wake up feeling pog? It's a simple question.
Pog isn't like, yeah, like
Exactly,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course I woke up today and I was like, yeah.
Nice. Well, there you go.
Yeah, of course I woke up feeling
You-
pog today.
You're trying to lecture me on being polite to people. You rage. That guy was just asking you a question, and you closed the chat down.
But I don't know if it's like a like Nymn, you have to be like my Twitch advisor. Cause like Austin gets like pissed off whenever someone sends like weird champ in his chat. You know? So like so that's like how I look at it. I take it literally. So when someone says, "Did you wake up feeling pog today?" I think like, are they trolling me, or I don't know what it is. Is it a troll?
It's a pretty popular question, but there's nothing really mean about it or trolly about it.
No, you're right. You're right. It's a
They
nice
just
thing.
like asking the question.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
It
right.
was some guy in XQC's chat was constantly asking him if he woke up feeling pog, and now they're asking me.
They're doing it to you now.
They're starting asking me other stuff too.
Like what?
I have an emote of a fly, and they're asking me if I'm feeling fly. Things like that.
How did you get used to all this? Like you said, in 2010 you started watching. Did you say in 2010 you started watching Twitch or Justin TV?
Yeah.
And how did you like get introduced to streaming? Like who got you into streaming?
That would be now we're going back to this guy. That would be Forsen, because he's the one that I really watched by the time I decided to be a streamer. But the back in 2010 I was watching Destiny.
Oh wow.
StarCraft 2. Yeah. That was streaming was just getting started basically. Back then I watched Destiny on you'd go on teamliquid.net.
Mm-hmm.
You'd look on the right, you'd find that would list any streamer that had over like 50 viewers, I think it would list, or something like that. Because you needed some aggregate website, because back then there was so many different streaming platforms. There wasn't Twitch didn't exist, and Justin didn't have a monopoly.
Yeah. I remember seeing like Soda Poppin' on Justin TV. I think it was it was a long time ago. Wait, how old are you, Nymn?
29.
Oh, when are you gonna turn? You're gonna turn 30 soon?
Early next year.
You excited to hit 30?
I'm not excited about it, but I'm not having like this panicky moment about it either.
Oh, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
No, I have amongst my group of friends, I'm kind of the younger, like of friends that I grew up with. I'm kind of one of the younger ones.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of them already have their birthday and go beyond 30, and they all did fine. They all survived. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not too concerned about it.
I'm 30.
There are worse things to be. There are bigger things to worry about, and this is more specifically, there are things that you can actually affect to worry about.
Right.
You know, everyone ages, so what's the point?
So, what is it like having like do you think you have a positive impact on Twitch and like your community, or do you think what do you think your purpose is on Twitch?
I'd sure like to think I have a positive impact. Otherwise, I think I'd have to reconsider why I'm even doing this.
Yeah.
I would hate for that answer to be any different. That being said, obviously it's a double-edged sword. I mean, the whole platform is, and your community is.
Yeah.
There are definitely things that both I have said and done, and my community has said and done throughout the years, that I'm not proud of. But that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I'd like to think, I don't know exactly what I'm doing here. I mean, I'm just having fun with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then if I can somehow positively impact someone's life, that means a lot for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I might not, I like to say I might not find the cure for cancer, but I might cheer up the guy who does.
Aw, I love that. That's beautiful. Nymn, you're such a nice guy. You're so wholesome. Like, you've had, from what I can tell, a pretty healthy record on the platform. Have you been banned before?
One time.
Was it what was it for?
I got a 1 week suspension when it was originally 2 weeks, appealed down to 1 week when I streamed from the partner lounge at a TwitchCon. I was trying to help XQC get to his meet and greet.
Was that last year or 2 years ago?
That was the last one in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
2019, right?
Yeah, that was last year?
Yeah, last year.
Oh man.
I think. Shit, I'm not sure actually.
Well, I think it was in San Diego.
It might have been EU TwitchCon. They kind of blend together in my head.
So, do they remove the ban after a while, or does it stay with you? Do you know?
What do you mean?
Like, is there like a 3 checks and you're out kind of system, or?
Are we just talking about bans in general now?
Yeah. I don't know how that works on the platform.
No, it doesn't work that way. You don't. Well, apparently I've heard from somewhere that there might be like a 6 strike system, but I'm not sure that's true. However, different. It depends on the offenses you're breaking.
Yeah, of course.
It's similar to, I guess, to law, in which I don't think jaywalking over and over is ever going to get you
arrested.
In prison. Actually,
I mean,
I just realized I don't know how the law works, so I shouldn't have said that.
No, you're fine. You said the right thing.
Okay. But yeah, it depends on the offense a lot. So they don't really... two suspensions can be very, very different.
Yeah.
And they also scale differently. The whole that they increase the suspension time,
Mhm.
I think that might be true if you're breaking the same rule. But every rule you break, they have different default suspension lengths.
Oh, okay.
So even though I had never been suspended, my default length was 2 weeks for that particular.
And then you got it reduced.
Yeah, and then normally when you appeal, they cut it in half.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that. How do you feel like when you started streaming on Twitch? Like, did you kind of blow up fast, or did it take a while for you to kind of get picked up, or how did that happen?
Depends on. I mean, I never had like just one viewer, so that was nice because I know that's rough. I think my first test stream had 20 viewers, and then I think most, if not all, streamers after that, I don't think I really went under 50 viewers.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think I had a pretty solid 50 plus base.
Mm-hmm.
Almost immediate. But this is talking about after I'd already worked with my stuff on YouTube for a while.
Oh, okay. So you pulled your audience from YouTube over.
Yes. Because I tried streaming before YouTube, the whole YouTube thing. I mean, I was like, hey, check me out. I'm a funny guy. I'm playing Hearthstone. Come watch.
No, that's cool.
And I had 0 viewers, bottom of the category. So that was fun.
Well, it's because back then it was probably Byron was streaming, right?
Yeah, I mean, Hearthstone was huge at the time. You're not
Yeah.
going to get found just turning on your stream.
Were
from
you
0?
Were you close with Byron at all, or?
I'd like to think so. I'm not sure. It depends on, I guess, what you regard as close.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think like he was close with a lot of people. Like I mean,
Yeah.
close isn't just like friends, I guess. Like friendly
Yeah.
and friends. Yeah.
I would have called us friends.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I got to meet him pretty much this year. Like get to know him
Okay.
a little bit better this year. So that was obviously very unfortunate to see all that happen.
Yeah.
But I
I met him
remember.
back in 2016. I think I met him first time at a Hearthstone tournament.
Oh, really? Were you competing?
No, they sent me there for the memes. I was
Really?
the token. No, they sent me there for as like a DJ basically.
Really?
But I didn't DJ. I didn't want to live DJ, so I gave them pre-made mixes instead.
They pay you for it?
They paid for no, they paid for like I was quite very small still back then.
Yeah.
They gave me free like VIP. I got free food and I got to go into the VIP area. I got as much booze as I wanted and as much Red Bull or something like that. So it's like
Oh,
a
wow.
small little.
What was it?
Mostly for me, it was just cool to meet all of these people.
Yeah. Did you like fangirl over anyone besides Forsen back in the day on Twitch, or?
Yeah, I mean, I fangirled at that event. I fangirled a lot of people. Byron was there. Forsen was there. Wait, no, Forsen wasn't at that one actually. I met Soda Poppin really early on too,
Yeah.
and that was pretty crazy for me back then. But it's kind of it goes by kind of quickly where you
Mhm.
go from being like, whoa, my god, I can't believe it's this person. It goes pretty quickly from that to just, I don't know. You're like, wait, they're just like you and me.
They're literally
They're all
just like you and
they're all
me.
just
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I think like people, going back to the little clout thing, like they forget that like at the end of the day, these are just fucking people. You know, that's all
Yeah.
it is.
But I definitely don't. I don't much like the way people behave at conventions. With a lot of people get a lot. Everyone gets reduced to a number a lot at
Yeah,
conventions.
I agree totally. Yeah.
And they get treated regarding or after that. Yeah.
Have you visited Austin, Texas before? Because it's
Yeah.
like that the entire time, pretty much.
Yeah, it's the big reason. Even though I have a lot of really, really, really good streamer friends that I very much treasure, I'd never want to surround myself only with streamers ever.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's one of the big reasons why I haven't really ever even considered moving
Yep.
to a place like Austin. So yeah, no, I know.
No, I respect you for that because I think at your core, you have like normal friends, right? Like, I think that's a big thing that like streamers kind of like miss out on is like having like normal friends because like
Yeah.
I have a shit ton of normal friends, and that's like the majority of my friend group, right?
Yeah.
And like I can go do normal shit. I don't have to like,
Yeah.
I don't like they're not like saying like Pog or like Pepe hands in person or anything. It's just like. When I experienced that for the first time, dude, I was like, come on, man. I was like, can't you just say, like, fuck it or something like that? Like, just anything else?
They can, but you gotta remember, if you spend your whole day saying these things over and over again, eventually it just gets really, really hard to
I know.
keep these things separate. I mean, I suffer from that hardcore. I can't. It's really rough for me sometimes to not let all of my that's not what I call meme Tourette's, to let that spill over into
Yeah.
the rest of my life.
Yeah, no, I think your friends probably understand what you do, so they're probably very like cool with it, and like if they don't fuck with you probably if you do say pog.
The thing is, the lucky thing for me is that all of my expressions, memes, emotes, all of that stuff,
Yeah.
that's all in English. But
Yeah,
when I'm
perfect.
hanging out with my friends, I'm speaking Swedish. So there's a very, very clear disconnect for me, and so it's actually pretty easy for me to
That was smart.
to not drop memes when I'm hanging out with
That's
my
brilliant.
friends.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
But if I'm hanging out with someone that I'm speaking English to, then that's different. Yeah.
So you said it's like a numbers thing. Like being someone that like you've been streaming for like full time for what? How long now? You said?
I've been streaming for 5 years, full time for 2
2 years. So
2.5 ish.
So after 2 years of doing this, like, did you ever expect that you would be able to do what you're doing right now, like full time?
When I quit my job, I didn't dare to hope that high. My plan when I quit my job was, I have enough money where I can live on my savings for a bit. This is an extended. I have enough money saved up from working, and I have enough experience saved up from working, where I knew that, and I needed this break regardless. I needed to take a break and do nothing for a bit. And then I knew I could always get rehired after a few months, like 4 months maybe. And I had enough money to take a break like that. So my idea was just, I need to chill, get some breathing room. And on top of having saved up money, I'll do a bit of streaming to try to make an extra income from that.
Yep.
And then if that happens to lead to me being able to do it full time, that will be amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that should be the attitude of most people. I think it's very dangerous to ever take this for granted.
Yep.
And I was lucky enough where it actually did work out. And that was great. Actually, I owe a lot to Trainwrecks, I'd say, that initial burst, because the time schedule I picked, he would go offline almost exactly at the same time as I went live, and he would host me a bunch. This was back when I was getting like 500 viewers, and Trainwrecks would be getting 2,500 maybe.
Wow. So Train's a homie then. I've been playing a lot of games with Train. I've always liked Train. He was one of the first people that I was introduced to outside of you through Austin, because I tried to come to him with a deal at one point. And I love the guy. I think he's fucking great. He needs to sleep more though, I think.
He does.
He's fucking streaming for 18 hours, so
he's a bit intense, but he always keeps it real.
He does keep it real. I like that about him, yeah. That's cool, man. So now, like, that's kind of that's to just like back up on what you were saying, like that's kind of the thing that I was doing too. Like, I've been consulting for the past like 4 years. I own my own business and shit, and I was doing really well, and I was like I was visiting Austin. I was with Austin, 24K Brown Magic. I think you met AJ before, and Kirk, Lord Kirk, and I was sitting with him at his house, and he was like, "You should just fucking try streaming, Joe." And I was like, "You know what? Fuck it, I'll do it." So it's been like, I don't know, like 9 months now that I've been doing it. I would say the income kind of sucks balls, but that's just from my perspective. But I don't really care. I'm not doing it for the income, honestly. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, when I decided to try my hand at it, I knew that even if I made less than at my old job, I'd still want to do it.
Yeah.
Over my old job.
Yep, agreed.
But I mean, the income is also incredibly exponential with Twitch, and there are definitely certain barriers where once you pass them, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, like
Nymn. I mean, your growth's been good, so.
Nymn 30K a month.
Yeah, it's another meme. Don't believe their lies.
Wait, I kind of do though.
No, I don't. I think there's been 1 month where I legit made 30K. Other than that, but it wasn't even that month they were basing it off of. I don't know where they got that number from. Someone just decided that's how much I made.
Is that with like sponsorships and like everything?
When the meme came, I wasn't getting sponsors.
Really?
Yeah, because how long has it been around? Probably at least 1 or 2 years.
Yeah. So you've been getting sponsors. I mean, I've helped you out before. You've gotten quite a few sponsors.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the sponsorships are right now. I'm trying to do what I'm doing right now is less pushing for subs
Yeah,
and more trying to make my money through sponsors instead.
it makes more sense. Yeah,
It feels better for me.
yeah.
I don't mind my viewers getting all my content for free and having like corporate money instead.
I
Not
agree
everyone
with you on
looks at
that.
it that way, unfortunately. I've been rough sometimes to try to. You get some shit for it.
Well, I know because they think you're like selling out or whatever, but the reality is like the sub revenue is decent. I think even if you're at like the better splits, but like you really want to make your money through sponsorships. Like that's just the way. That's just the way to do it. There's way more money in sponsors than anything else. So,
Yeah, I feel like for me it's also just once I did start doing well, it started feeling weird to like sit there and try to hype people up
yeah,
to pay you money
yep,
when a lot of the people that might be paying you money are actually making less than you.
yep.
That just seemed really weird to me.
I love that.
I had to kind of felt bad about it. If people want to sub because they enjoy your content, they want the emotes or they want to show their support, they want to feel a sense of belonging, that's all fine. And I don't, you know, I love that they're subbing and I love having subs. But
Yeah.
I kind of stopped doing all the mind games that you can do to get more subs, I guess. I stopped putting so much focus on getting the sub count to go up.
Yeah, because like I gotta be honest with you, like there was a point where it was in my first like 4 months of streaming where I had like 2,400 subs now.
Damn.
It was a stupid amount of subs, right? I can't even do the math. Hold on, let me do the math real quick. 2,400 times $5. That's $12,000. Okay, and I was like maybe like a 60 viewer Andy. Okay, and they were all like gifted. Okay, obviously, but do you know how much I took home from that?
Well, you got to keep what, $2.50 off of this sub, and then you had to tax some of it away.
Probably about $3,500.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I was like, stop fucking subscribing to me. I was like, what are you doing? Like, it's just like lighting. This is my personal opinion. Hold on, I'll do this as a favor to you. Hold on. No, not that. This one right here. That's like $9,000 lit on fire for me as an affiliate. That was like 9 G's. They just like lit that on fire and fucking threw it in the trash. So anyways, yeah, I think it's great to support people that you like on Twitch and to subscribe to them. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a great thing. A great way to show that you support your favorite creators on the platform.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
It's
so,
just as long as no one feels coaxed into, or like the people get peer pressured into subbing, or
yeah,
or whatever.
So, what are like? Do you have like plans? Do you so you have like a schedule every week, right? Like you do something. You do the news network, right?
Yeah.
Nymn
Every
News
Monday
Network.
is the news. Every Sunday is movie night. Every Friday is, for the most part, is a Friday review and art contest.
Art contest.
Yeah.
Every what day is it? Every what?
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
For the
Wait.
most part, yeah. I have my viewers submit drawings and things to compete in that we look at. It can be drawings. It can be music. It can be all. We have all kinds of competitions and we have all kinds of reviews where we look at people's outfits, their fridge contents,
Bridge
their favorite
contents.
movie scene.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it for such a long time that we've kind of started running out of content or running out of good
So
ideas.
yeah, like show me your garage now. I'm gonna rate your garage.
Yeah, some of them were really dumb. I think we did like arm review one time. That one was not a great idea.
Yeah. Oh look, new idea. Pog. Good. You can
Yeah.
use that one. Yeah. Garage review. Yeah.
I started thinking about idea review, you know?
Oh, like reviewing a review.
Like they would give me suggestions on new reviews and I'll review their suggestions of new reviews.
You should do that. You should do like a poll as to what reviews you could review.
I think the next one we're doing actually, because I did it casually on a stream and a lot of people liked it, was username review. So we have that one.
Oh, that one's good.
Yeah.
Here, let's go through some of the users in the chat, and then we can just like a scale from 1 to 10 review their username. How's that sound?
Okay, sounds good.
You go, and then I'll go. Okay.
Well, okay. So I already explained this on my stream, but and this is all completely subjective. What I
Yes.
like of a username, at least if we're talking like a nice gaming username, is I don't want any like numbers in the game. I don't think that looks very good.
Yeah.
I don't really want words in the name either.
Yeah.
Ideally, depending a bit, but
And-
generally, so.
And
Yeah,
I don't
so that's
like
why I haven't like the name. Nick.
and I don't like underscores.
Yeah. When it's obvious that you chose the name because the name you wanted was taken, that's I
Yeah.
mean, it's not your fault, but it's
Yeah.
obviously you landed on not a very good-looking username then.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
So let's see. Fape is in chat. I think that's a pretty good username.
Phayp, PHAYP.
Yeah.
Is that like
Like
FAP?
that one hits the sweet spot for me.
Yeah, that is kind of a sweet spot. Is that FAP or FAPE? What? How would you enunciate
I
that?
call it Fape
FAPE?
because there's a Y in there, right?
Yeah, there's a Y. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of FAPE. Yeah. Miko Farts would be a good username if it didn't have an underscore. If it was just like one word, like Miko Farts. You know what I mean?
Why would you want to be called Farts though?
I don't know. It just sounds fun. You know?
Yeah.
I think there's like character behind it.
Okay, yeah, it probably depends on what kind of person you are. You're making me think. I have a friend who's also a streamer. He's a bit of a smaller streamer. He's called Nice Beaver 28.
Oh, I like
And
that name.
I got the pleasure of hanging out with him at a bunch of conventions, and every time it's fun when he introduces himself to a new person. He goes, "Hey, I'm Nice Beaver 28." You know, and you get to watch their reaction to that.
I like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hello. Yeah. Yeah. Who else we got here?
Well, 1948 is getting angry with me now.
Yeah, 1948 is
It is
pretty angry.
kind of cool actually to have a year, just like.
Yeah.
I don't know why you picked 1948. I don't know what that means for you.
I don't know what the
I always
distinction
mix
is.
it up with 1984, the book, the movie.
George Orwell.
Yes.
What is that one, Yabe? The fuck does that mean?
I don't know. That's kind of a weird name,
Yeah.
honestly.
I don't know if I really like that one.
I guess it's a dude. I'm not sure.
It probably is a dude, huh? Huh. Alright. Not bad. Not
Like a
bad.
weird champ now. Sleeping on the couch.
Oh, that sucks. That was fun. You should do that on stream.
Yeah. No, I think I will this Friday.
But you, and I think that'll be fun. And, yeah, that sounds like a good time. Sounds like a really good time. We sit exactly the same, dude. My legs, here. My leg, oh shit, the other way. My leg is like folded up. That's how you sit too, right? You sit with your leg
yes.
folded up?
Yeah, one leg, like, yeah.
Are your knees all fucked up?
No,
You work out probably, huh?
I do.
Yeah, are you you're pretty fucking fit, huh?
Right now, I'm actually in really shitty shape, but
Oh.
sometimes I guess I'm in okay shape, maybe.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. So, what are some things you want to do in the future on your channel? Because I mean, like, obviously, you can only react to so many YouTube videos for so long, right? And
No,
you
I don't think that's true.
Well, I know. Actually, isn't there like a story that said that there's like 4 trillion or some like major number worth of like videos uploaded to YouTube every day or some shit like that?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they said.
Is that? Or are you just being
I don't know. I mean,
sarcastic?
as long as YouTube exists and as long as people are making careers out of YouTube, I don't think we'll ever run out of content because there's always going to be these few channels that you're interested in that are always going to be providing this stuff.
Mhm.
However, I can see 2 major things happening that would make me quit. The first one being that I just simply get bored with it eventually.
Yeah,
Now, I don't
yeah.
think this one's very likely because in the same sense that I don't think I'll ever get bored watching movies or TV shows.
Yeah,
There's enough variety in the content that it doesn't really make sense for me. I just can't wrap my head around why that would happen.
Do you
Now,
think
the
that?
second thing that's more likely to happen is that Twitch is somehow forced to put a stop to it, or like copyright issues become too rough.
Do you think that you've become more intelligent or less intelligent after streaming on Twitch for the past 2 years full time?
I think that depends on what you call intelligence. I think I don't think I'm necessarily. Actually, I might be getting dumber. I was about to say I don't think I'm getting dumber, but sometimes I surprise myself
Do
on
you?
streams. I think I'm just spaced out in a different kind of way. I think for sure, my social ability has taken a big hit. Like
Yeah.
I'm worse dealing with people in real life now. So I don't know if that counts.
Are you like an anxious person?
No, I don't think so. But I'm not. I'm an introvert. I think I've become more of an introvert the longer I've streamed for.
I hate that, man. Because like I feel like I met you a year and a half ago. So you started full-time Twitch like 6 to 8 months before that. No, I met you like a year.
Maybe.
When was TwitchCon Berlin? It was almost like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think so.
So you seem pretty social when I met you. Is it just because you feel more comfortable in like the Twitch sphere of people or something?
So when when I call myself an introvert, I only refer to the core idea of introvert versus extrovert. Where do you get energy from?
Oh, okay.
So like if I spend a week around other people, I get exhausted and I need like at least 2 weeks by myself. So
Really?
that's all I mean. It doesn't mean that I hate hanging out with people, and it doesn't mean that I can't interact with people and hang out and talk to people.
So you don't need constant attention from people, is what you're saying?
No, yeah, exactly. Actually, I wouldn't like that.
That would
That's all I mean.
that would bother you. Yeah.
Which is why streaming is so good for me, because I like being by myself
Oh.
often.
That's kind
But
of
not all the time.
Yeah,
I have
was
a
gonna
cat
say.
too.
You have a cat, yeah. Yeah, and a couch.
Yeah.
And a couch, yeah. You know. Yeah.
No, I have everything I need. I have friends I meet often, and I have a great girlfriend who comes over and stuff. And it's just the right amount for me. Like I wouldn't want to change that, and like I could never live in like these big streamer houses or whatever, you know?
Dude, no. No. I couldn't do it either. Like I'm considering like moving back to New York at this point to get back to like a normal life again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
So, it sucks though if you're trying to get your stream to grow and stuff, I guess, but
I don't think it makes a difference. Like, I don't think it makes that big of a difference because, like, I don't know. I can't think of. Like, for instance, I can't think of like one interview I've had with someone. It's because I met them when they were in Austin. I can't
That's
think
fair.
of yeah. So it's mostly
I
just
guess
like
you're
mutuals
right. I mean,
and
I
shit.
also I'm pretty limited here when it comes to how many streamers I'm around, and I guess I've done just fine for myself.
But yeah, I mean that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
It's like you say, even if you were to like hang out with someone in Austin or you'd be on their stream, most people aren't really gonna be like, "Whoa, who was that? I'm gonna go check out his stream."
They're not going to translate. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that. I mean, you've worked in like your industry before. Like, you know if someone like nobody's gonna. Here's the thing: is someone might not notice like your peculiar detail in that one scene from Rogue One, right? Like they might not notice what you did, but you were a part of it. So you were a part of it, but they won't know unless they see the credits or something.
I didn't make the credits, unfortunately.
Are you kidding me?
No, I didn't make the credits on that one. You don't always make the credits because they give you the way they give it to us. Because we only get a select few scenes to work on from the movie, from the main company that was working on the movie, Industrial Light and Magic. They subcontract us and give us a few scenes, and then they tell us, "Hey, you'll get 10 spots to put in the movie, in the credits." But there might have been 40 people working on it.
That's fucking
So my
stupid.
company has to decide who makes the cut.
What do you have to pay for that spot, or like give up vacation time or something?
No, they went mostly the way they decided it was just who had the highest amount of hours in the project, because every day we log what we worked on.
Yeah.
And so they mostly chose like the project leader, like the supervisor, the producer, and then they picked the artist that had the highest amount of hours. And that just wasn't me. I didn't work on it that much.
Nymn, why does everyone when I bring you up in my chat, or like whenever I've like brought you up, people just say man? Is
Are
it
you sure you don't mean Nam?
Nam? That's the one. Yeah, Nam.
Nam. Yeah.
What is that? What the fuck? The fuck does Nam mean? What the fuck is that? Like, teach me about Nam.
Well, it's a third-party emote. You know that much, right?
Yeah, I know that part. Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever notice how big it is?
It's very big. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have your chat open and chat says something like, "What the fuck is Nam?" But in one word, and you spam that a few times, you're gonna fill out the chat very quickly and very easily.
Okay.
Because of the height of the emote and the length of all of these words together.
Yeah.
You fill out the chat. So it's a very, very efficient emote when it comes to basically just spamming hardcore. Basically killing a chat with spam.
Yeah.
And then, well, if we want to do the full story, I think it just started with one. One day I just saw this guy, because people would use it for all kinds of spam like that. And one day I saw this guy, must have been in Forsen's chat.
Yeah.
And the only thing he wrote was, any nammers, nam. Any nammers, nam. Any nammers, nam. A million times over. And he spammed that and then he got timed out.
Yeah.
I just thought, what a fucking champion. And I thought it was just so hysterical. And then I think, yeah, when I started bringing more attention to the emote, I think people just started. That's what often happens if I give attention to a certain thing, then it tends to kind of come back even stronger.
You kind of help that guy like get more recognition, I guess, in a way.
I have no idea who the guy was.
Yeah.
But the emote itself, I'm sure I've had at least a small impact in how popular it became.
Any nammers?
It's an emote the emote itself doesn't really mean anything. It's just this guy, Namja.
His name is Namja?
Yeah, it's the face of a streamer called Namja.
Oh my god.
He plays Call of Duty.
He still streams?
Yeah. Not very often, I don't think. He has a very small stream, like 10 viewers or so.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just it's basically just if you're a spammer. I don't know. It's hard to even explain it.
Dude.
But I guess yeah.
It's fucking insane. Like the amount of like the emotes are fucking nutty. And the other thing is too is like today I was playing with like Train and all those guys on Among Us and no shot on a stack. I just learned what a stack meant. I asked what that meant. But like I remember at one point like I was just like we were just fucking like taking a 10-minute break. And I opened up his stream and I looked at it and it was people just saying J Omega lol E and then Joe who like J right? Joe who Megalol and then the other one was like Joe Mama. And I was like, dude, I don't know of any other Joes like that are like streamers like in our like crew of people, like our fucking whatever you want to call it. But like here's my question, will I forever be known as Joe Mama on Twitch? Because like I thought that joke was dead.
I don't really see that joke going anywhere, but it might become less normal.
You hope? I hope so.
The putting an omega instead of your O is something that's probably never going.
I like that. Anywhere. That's kind of cute. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one I'm very confident is not going anywhere.
Okay.
The Joe, who's Joe? It might go away, but it might take a while.
No, I like that one. I like that. I like Joe Megalol. I like who Megalol Joe Megalol. I like that one. But like the Joe Mama one is like. The Joe Mama one is like a TikTok level cringe.
Well,
meme.
the Joe Mama one and Joe Who, that's the same thing.
The Joe Who doesn't happen. It's more so just J Omega lol E or Joe Mama. That's like what it's. That's what like what's happening.
Well, the joke is you say something like, "Are you going to talk about Joe?" And then you go Joe Who.
Joe Who.
And you go Joe Mama.
Joe Mama. Right?
So the Who is part of the setup of the same joke.
Did you hang out with Destiny and Melina the other day?
Yeah, I did.
How was that?
That was fun because you don't get to see a lot of these streamers these days because of these fucking virus lockdowns. So that was fun actually. We only did meet one day, which was a bit of a shame. We were gonna do like some lunch before they left. I didn't realize they left until it was too late because I was.
Oh.
But it was fun. I mean, we streamed some of it. And they're always interesting people to talk to, both of them really. I've
enjoyed talking to them. They're both I would say friends. They've become friends at least. They're good people. What did you guys do?
We mostly just walked around. We did like an IRL stream and I just showed them like the parks here in the city.
Where you live?
'Cause we have a few pretty nice parks. We went to some little place where we got we had some chocolate cake and apple pie and hung out there for a bit, and then the weather got kind of bad, and we went out for some food later. So yeah.
Cool. Sounds nice. How is coronavirus where you are? How is Sweden?
Like in
handling
the
it?
city or in my country?
In your country, how is Sweden handling it?
Sweden did the not super hard lockdowns relative to other countries right from the start, and they basically Sweden went for trying to find a sustainable way of handling it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other countries shut everything down, and then you open up one thing at a time to see what is sustainable and what's not.
Yeah.
And Sweden more shut one thing down at a time to see where the effect took the most, and now they've landed at what they think is sustainable right now.
Yeah.
And they didn't do too peachy in the start. They managed to get the spread into a bunch of retirement homes. A lot of people, far too many people died at the start.
Yep.
Today, we're doing quite well. Relative to most other countries, we're doing probably better. Right now, we're not suffering the second wave that most other countries are.
Are you all wearing masks and practicing
No.
like... No?
No, we don't do masks here, really.
So you just stay away from each other?
Yeah, the idea is that the general person is stupid and the general person is bad at following instructions. And the more instructions you give them, the more likely they are to mess something up. And so they only really have a very few rules in place. And then they let a lot of people do it at their own discretion on top of that.
Interesting. So some people
So yeah, we do social distancing.
Well, yeah, because you guys don't fucking talk to each other.
Yeah. It's very convenient.
I guess it works out then.
Nothing's different.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Yeah.
That's funny as hell. I did not realize that. In America, it's totally different. People will throw a fit. But if you're like violating their civil rights or some bullshit like whatever the fuck it is, they like throw a fit. Like I remember I was at a Walmart. You ever been to a Walmart before, Nymn?
Yeah, I have.
They're fucking gross, dude. They're disgusting. I was at a Walmart, and this is now they're trying to make this a derogatory term, but this obese woman, you know what obese is, right?
Sure.
Yeah. This obese, I don't even know why I asked you that. This obese woman was in an electric scooter. Okay.
Nice. Very Walmart.
Oh yeah, and she was cruising down the fucking sidewalk. Okay, and she was going in, but she had her mask on her chin, on her second chin, on her second chin, not her first chin, on her second chin.
Yeah.
And I was walking by, and I had my mask on my face, and it covered my nose, and I was going in, and she was throwing a fit about not being able to get in because she couldn't wear her mask because she couldn't breathe, right? And she kind of sounded like this, you know, like, yeah, okay. And so she was complaining about it, and I was there, and I'm a New Yorker, okay? And my state, even though it got hit hard, at its core, did very well with handling coronavirus, as good as it could, right?
Mm-hmm.
So me being in Texas with all these K-Kona fuckers, right? I was like, she was giving the guy a fit. I was like, hey, put your fucking mask on, okay? And then she looked at me. She was like, why you gotta wear that mask? It ain't gonna help you. And I was like, yeah. Well, you want to go in there and buy your fucking puffed Cheetos, you fucking obese bitch? And I wanted to say it like really fucking hard, but I didn't. I held myself back. But I fucking lit into her, dude. I fucking lit into her. And that's...
People aren't ever going to get the message if you yell and tack on a bunch of insults.
No, well, hold on. I didn't say all that. I didn't say all that.
No, I know.
I wanted to say that. You know, I wanted to say that.
I'm patting your back for your restraint.
Thank you. But I wanted to say that to her.
Yeah, I understand.
But I can't because she probably would have pulled out an AR-15 from her under tit and shot me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you taste some of her freedom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They I definitely when I went to Portugal real quick, and they wear a lot of masks there, and I saw a lot of very very misuse of the masks that made me lose faith in the system a bit. I know it's a very controversial topic.
That's okay.
I think probably in theory they definitely work, but in practice I saw so many people wearing them on their chin, or having their nose peek out at the top, or touching their face nonstop because of the mask, or probably wearing the same mask for days, that I started wondering what are the some of the effects of that happening.
So people do that in America as like a form of rebellion.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you've probably seen a ton of videos on it. Like people are now like
I've seen a lot. I've seen the people who have like hand stitched masks too with big holes in them.
Dude, it's so fucking stupid. And like even if, like, here's the thing, right? This is my thing, okay? Even if the masks don't work, just fucking wear it. Like, just wear it to appease the idea of it working, right?
Yeah.
Because then if everyone does that, then we're all the same. It doesn't take away from anything. Just wear your fucking mask. So, but obviously that doesn't apply to you because, you know, you all social distance by 12 feet is what it seems like, and you probably don't even know your fucking next door neighbor's name.
No, I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Which is fucking
to be fair, I haven't
insane.
lived here for long, but my old place I also didn't know their name.
Yeah, see? Exactly. I rest my case.
No, we have a very different... I think that the debate's been going very hot, and I think maybe eventually I think they will implement masks, but in very, very specific scenarios where no better approaches can be made. I think the mindset they have, just to clarify, the reason they don't want to recommend them is, for example, that they're scared that sick people are going to put on a mask and go out and about.
Okay.
Or people are going to put on a mask and be like, well, now we can hang out. We don't need to be far away from each other. So they're scared that people are going to misunderstand the use of the mask, or that it's going to mitigate some of the effects of the other things that, according to them, are well more established that they really do work, and they may have a very, very big effect. That's the reasoning behind it.
One of your 1948 has 572 messages in 2 hours of following. That's literally more than 5 messages a minute. That's normal.
From him, yeah. There's a few people like that in my chat that are like him.
That's more than like people who
there was
followed
this
me
guy
for
who
a long
tweeted
time.
about like Twitch chat statistics, and my viewers, the amount of chatting they do, or like the amount of chatting activity that goes on in my chat compared to my view count, is like off the charts in all of his diagrams.
Do you often read chat?
Yeah.
And you can keep up with it?
Yeah, I use a software called Chatterino. I don't know if you use that.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah.
Okay, and you can make a tab with only mentions, so that helps a lot.
Oh, so you only read what people are like adding you for?
Of them, but that's how I can, like, if someone wants to tell me something specific, I can usually spot it because of that. But I also, it's a bit, eventually it becomes like looking at matrix code, you know?
Yeah.
It looks like a bunch of nonsense, but you kind of get to absorb it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. XQC is fantastic at that. By the way, just random shout out.
Picking
out one comment, and I can say hi to him in a chat that's just going so fast, and I don't know how he does it.
He sees it?
Yeah.
Wow. So you're
He's
turning
good at reading the matrix code.
The matrix code. So you're turning 30.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you got big plans coming up, or what are you gonna try to do?
I'd like to have big plans. I don't have anything planned yet. I've never really done get-togethers or I have never like myself organized a party.
Yeah.
So I think I'd like to. I feel like this is probably the time when you're turning 30. I don't know what the COVID situation is gonna be like, so that will have to determine probably the scope of this. But
yeah,
I have another friend who's turning 30. I turn in February and he turns in March. So we're talking about docking.
Huh?
We're talking about making a big party together for both of us.
You know what docking means, right?
Yeah. It's touching your dicks.
Yeah.
Going back to foreskin. Yeah.
That sounds like fun. Fuck it.
I didn't mean we're actually gonna dock. I wanted to use a funny word.
Yeah, I like that.
I figured you'd still understand from the context what I meant.
No, sure, yeah. Yeah. I love docking with my homies. It's like what we do.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of warm, you know? Nice. It's a good feeling.
You got very detailed and specific now.
All right, I'm fucking around with you. So what words of advice would you have for because I obviously you've been streaming for so long, you definitely have like a great fan base, and like they're very loyal to you, right? And they're very supportive of you. They know like your life. They know your life is publicized now. Like you're living like a public life. You've entered this realm, right?
Sure.
So what kind of advice would you have to fucking 1948 dude? What kind of advice would you give to the people who like look up to you? Because I'm sure there are quite a few people out there that do look up to you.
Jeez, why me? Why'd you look up to me, guys?
Oh, come on.
Wait, advice? I don't know. Can you give me something more to work with?
What?
Just advice in general?
Yeah, what kind of advice would you
stay
give
in school and don't do drugs?
Okay, did you go to school and did you do drugs?
I went to school. I've only ever had caffeine.
You're kidding me.
Yes.
You are so soy, Nymn. You are.
Wait, why am I soy?
You've only done caffeine?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like, come on.
No, I try not to talk about
no, I understand. You're very brand friendly.
That kind of stuff too much for them.
Yeah, you're brand friendly, yeah.
But I don't really, because I don't know. Normally people say like, what's your advice for people that want to do this or do that?
What's your advice for people that want to stream on Twitch?
Huh?
What's your advice for people who look up to you that want to be like you on Twitch?
Oh, so like potential streamers?
Yeah.
I think you should do it because you enjoy it, not because you want to be big, famous, and rich. I think you should be ready to maybe be disappointed, or like be ready to that you might be spending a year talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Be prepared that even sometimes when it goes up, you're also going to be eventually going down. No stream grows forever.
Yep.
And if I actually look up my video, I made a YouTube video about it. So that's my advice to those people. Go fucking, first of all, sub to my YouTube channel because it's dead.
Yeah.
And then
mine too.
Go look at the video. I actually put together a PowerPoint presentation on some of the things that I've learned and picked up over the years, and some of the best advice I'd give to someone who wants to get into streaming.
Really? I should watch that.
Yeah, no one gave a shit about it.
Really? That sucks.
But I did make one.
I started my YouTube probably, man, I really started to put like effort into it like 2-3 months ago. And I just hit 2,500 subs and I like was so fucking excited about it. I know it's not a lot, but
no, that might be more than I have.
Really?
I think it's more than I have. Yeah.
I don't think so. After this stream, you'll probably have more than that. Yeah, because I mean, everyone's gonna go find your YouTube. Actually, let's take a look at our YouTubes.
Oh wait, we're talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about. Okay.
What you're talking about? What?
I thought you were talking about Twitch subs. Now I got them.
Oh no, not YouTube. No, not Twitch subs. YouTube, the YouTube subs.
Well, yeah, there was a clip recently of me when I said, "Someone clip this and send it to me a year later. A year from now, I will have 100K YouTube subs." And I had 18K when I got the video back a year later.
That's okay though. That's funny as hell though. Yeah. I mean, I'm uploading like clips like with like fucking "Call Me Carson" in the title and it gets like 150 views. So like,
yeah,
the YouTube algorithm isn't exactly like very.
It's strange. I think I fucked myself because the channel I decided to start working on like a year ago was an old channel I had. It had been sitting idle for like probably a year. And I think that was a bad move. I think I should have made a new one. Because I think if the channel was new and it was getting a bit more hits, that would probably been more preferable for the algorithm. I'm not sure. Maybe that's just a cope I say.
Yep.
And maybe people generally just don't like it. But I think my editors are doing a good job with the channel. And I'll keep trying. Fuck it.
Do you ever plan on bringing back like Radio Kappa?
No, not really. I'm down to making more music in all kinds of versions, but I think Radio Kappa. I think for starters, there are many reasons why I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's a very different climate now from when I did it. I am a very different person too. This one I think probably pains people to hear, but I really am, because the first one's 5 years old now or something, and I think sometimes I think when there was drama going down on Twitch, my music probably helped fuel the fire.
Yeah.
You know, like a very weak version of Keemstar or something. And I don't really want to be that kind of a person anymore.
I get you, yeah.
You can still make funny music and stuff without having it be about drama. But
Yep.
Radio Kappa ended up being kind of, I'd always put this stuff in there. And then another reason is also people like to get sad that I'm not doing it. But
Yeah.
I also feel that probably people's interest in it also died out a bit.
Yeah, I could see that.
And that's very simple. You can just look at the view count on the episodes, and it just started going down.
Well, you've obviously changed. It's been 5 years. You're no longer, I guess, what I would think is Pepega, probably. I think you're not Pepega anymore. Well, I mean, you're still Pepega, probably, but you're not as Pepega as you used to be, right?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know how. I don't know what you mean when you say. I mean, I know what a Pepega is, but
Well, Pepega is in, like, because, like, Radio Kappa, like, I listened to it, and it was just, like, I forgot which episode I listened to, but it was just, like, it was, like, listening to a meme. Like, it was just, like,
yeah.
taking Twitch and, like, sucking the life force out of it and then putting it into a meme video. And that's literally what it was. So I had to think you have to be, like, pretty Pepega to, like, be able to relate to that consistently.
Oh no, I think I'm still that kind of. I think I'm
you
still
are?
Pepega then.
Okay.
I think I'm still Pepega in that aspect. I just like expressing myself through different venues, I think.
No, I love that. Someone, you look like you're falling asleep. I'm not falling asleep. I'll be honest with you. I don't stream, and I'm sorry if I keep yawning them. It's not you at all, dude.
No, you're fine. You're reading messages from 1948 again.
No. I got 5 hours of sleep. And I also, like, I've been streaming for like 7.5 hours now, so I'm like fucking dead. I don't ever stream that long, by the way. So this is like a first for me.
I usually don't stream longer than 6. This is a pretty sweet spot for me.
You know what I really enjoyed of yours, Nymn, and one of your mods asked me to be a part of it was your award ceremony.
Oh.
I really enjoyed that. That was like your production for that was fucking awesome, and like I loved it. I loved watching it. It was great.
They did a great job. The team behind it. I mean, I did my part, but the team behind it really, they blew me away with the stuff they made. Because it's not like I went to this professional firm or whatever. They're mostly just a bunch of Twitch viewers, a bunch of kids on Twitch, really, who made that stuff happen.
It's awesome. It's fucking brilliant. I love it. Like, and you're obviously going to do that again this year, right? I would hope.
That's the plan, yeah.
Punk
kids.
Fun.
We'll probably start planning it like, I mean, almost next month, probably October, November-ish. We'll start planning.
Why?
It's a long process.
Okay, 1948 is actual fucking AIDS, dude. My Chatterino's just pinging like crazy. I had to turn it off, dude. Oh my god, that's.
Oh, it's making the bell sound.
It was annoying. I was losing my shit for a second there.
Oh, you should turn that off in the settings. I can't believe you've had it on for this time.
Hold on, let me turn it off in the settings real quick. Hold on, get there. Okay,
ding,
all right.
Ding.
Let's open. I just open it up again. Where is it in the settings?
Strange. Huh?
Where is it in the settings here?
God, it's been forever since I turned it off. Probably in. Maybe in highlights or maybe in live notifications, maybe. Yeah, it's in live notifications. Settings, live notifications, I think.
Huh? Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Okay. All right, I think it's off now. It's you can be formed in certain channels. Go live. No.
No, there's another one. Play sound or whatever.
Oh, okay. Play sound. Okay. All right. I think it's good now.
Oh no.
That was painful. Jesus. And then this is a part in the interview where I let you well, actually no, I gotta ask about Artifact. What's the deal with Artifact? Why has this been like a thing since it's been brought up since the beginning of this stream?
Oh, why are they mentioning Artifact?
Yeah, what's the deal with Artifact? Did you used to stream Artifact?
No. I think they probably talked about when I talked about maybe the various things my community has brought to Twitch, or I have. I almost recommend you read like the whatever articles they wrote about it. It was a pretty big thing on Twitch when it happened, but Artifact was just this card game that Valve made that everyone. Well, a lot of people were pretty excited about it, and then it ended up being terrible, or like it ended up flopping super hard, right? And it only took a couple of months before the stream or the Twitch, because I would track how popular it was by just looking at how many people were streaming it and how many people were viewing it on Twitch.
Yeah.
And it was surprisingly fast how quickly that game died, like just crazy for being a Valve game. And so I'd just go on the artifact section. I'd do my daily artifact check on stream, and I'd just look at how many people are streaming it today. You know, eventually it would hit like a day where there was actually no channels.
I love that.
Streaming it. And then one day someone was like, "Hey, you haven't checked artifact today," and I checked it, and there was this stream that just like said, "If Nymn sees this, chat 1" or something like that, or chat 1, but
I love
chat
that.
1 to simplify it. And it was just the setup of like, I don't remember, it probably had a soundbite of me looping over and over, I can't remember. And then the next day there were like 2 channels, and the next day there were 4, and all of a sudden the artifact section became this completely different part of Twitch, where people would just put a bunch of meme videos on loop. And then eventually someone decided to stream like the whole Scary Movie and Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. And all of a sudden the artifact section became like a movie section instead.
It was just a big fucking meme.
It was a big shit show. It was almost like 4chan found their way onto Twitch for a bit. All of these people just make new accounts, start a stream under artifact, and then do all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
and for the most part, it was hilarious, and for the most part, it was amazing. Now, there were a few bad apples who streamed very, very inappropriate things, and that's when I had to kind of officially stop condoning that kind of behavior, or kind of take a step back.
Yeah.
And realize it had gotten out of control, and that was a big shame that it had to kind of end that way. But I'll always remember the good times.
Nymn, you are like a pioneer of funny shit on Twitch, dude. You are. Like, it's I think it's awesome, actually, the amount of like I've just heard a lot of cool things about you, and I
well, this
appreciate
thing,
it.
like most of the things, it all comes down to the community. It all goes back to them almost always.
Okay, well, your community is like the pioneer of cool shit.
Yeah.
And they're very fucking funny. And I actually, what the hell is this? What did I just open? I've never I've had like God, I did Wilbur's suit. You know Wilbur, obviously. I think.
The what now?
You know Wilbur's suit?
No.
No.
Wilbert?
Wilbur.
No.
He's a YouTuber. But I had him in here, and I think there was like a couple thousand people in there, right? And they were talking, but no one out of all the interviews, especially it had to be my 50th interview, my chat has never moved so fucking fast before. In like the beginning, when you first rated, it was literally just like, it was just like turds all over the place, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And that's
beautiful.
It's beautiful, and I was trying to keep up because I'm like the kind of guy, I stream to like less than 100 people, right? And normally, and I'm like reading it, I'm like, hey, what's going on, fucking Archibald 420?
Trying to reply to all of them.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, what's going on? I was like, my brain was like melting. So
you got to start treating them like one entity instead, you know?
Yeah, I just treat them as one entity. Yeah, I have to. And I think that's like the direction that it goes in, right? Obviously, the bigger you get, the more like of the same shit you like start to see, right? And they just like just fucking flow into it.
Yeah, I mean, some chats are way better at organizing like that than others.
Yeah, my bags are melting. Nymn, it was great having you here, man. Is there anything that you want to say? Any last bits? Sorry if this is a little scuffed. I apologize for being exhausted.
That's all good. I don't think I have any good outro things. I usually say, stay safe. Remember to wash your hands. And try to smile every once in a while.
Smile, Nymn.
Be kind to those around you.
Give us a smile.
And subscribe to my fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah, and mine too.
Yeah.
Subscribe
to Joe's. And follow the channel, guys.
What a sweet man you are. Nymn, it was cool hanging out with you, man. Hope it wasn't too crazy for you.
Oh, no. This was very soothing and relaxing.
It was?
Yeah. Well, this is this is chill, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your night. It's probably late over there, so you're probably gonna go to sleep soon, huh?
Ideally, I should at least. We'll see if I manage, but yeah.
Is that G Fuel in your cabinet, by the way?
Or are you just happy to see me?
Oh,
no, it's actually
I like that.
X Gamer.
Ooh, what's that?
It's basically G Fuel.
Oh, sick. Okay, cool.
Except it's not. It's powder energy drink. I used to be sponsored by them.
Oh, neat. Okay. Nymn, my friend, have a lovely day. Take it easy. Enjoy yourself. I enjoyed having you here. I hope you have a nice night, okay? Well, let's play some Among Us soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
All right. Later, amigo. Bye.
Later. Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. I'd appreciate that. I also have a Twitch where everything here is filmed live, so feel free to follow me there at twitch.tv/HeyItsJoe, or follow me on Instagram or Twitter in the description below. Thanks.